After a 4-week-long summer break, the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine returned to action, touching down in the heart of the Styrian Mountains at Red Bull Ring Spielberg, home to the Austrian Grand Prix for round 7 of the 2025 campaign. As drivers returned to the paddock, we would also welcome 4 new faces to the grid ahead of the weekend, with also 1 switch in between teams. CL Motorsport have been on a voyage of discovery this season, capitalising on the experience of Michael Belov as he provided them with their first points in their first season in the series. Heading into Red Bull Ring, they introduced 2 new names. First, Enea Frey, the 16-year-old Swiss driver, arrives as the son of 3-time Le Mans participant Michael Frey. And after an introduction to single-seaters in 2024 at F4 level, he's ready to step up for his first Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine weekend.
Well, obviously very nice being here. It's a step up from F4, obviously, coming here from Genser. It's a different car, different setting, obviously. Still lots to learn, but I think in general we're not doing a bad job until now. Obviously we'll see in quali how it all turns out, and in the races that's probably the main job. But to be honest, I think I'm looking forward and ready to push for the qualifying and the races.
The second new face at CL Motorsport is 16-year-old Zhenrui Qi from Wenzhou, China, who after commencing karting at age 5, joined FRECA for his debut in European single-seater competition earlier this year. He gave us his thoughts on joining CL Motorsport.
Obviously a very competitive championship. I think it's a very different, let's say, car compared to the F4. So it's great to be here and learn with the team and gain some experience for the future.
FRECA also arrived at Styria with a new face. Up stepped multi-time Italian F4 race winner, F4 Middle Eastern Championship runner-up, and Mercedes junior Alex Powell.
Yeah, first of all, it's awesome to be here. I'm so grateful and blessed to be here. Very unexpected for me. I got the call like a week ago that I was informed a week ago that I was going to be racing here. So it's just incredible. I'm savoring every moment. For sure appreciating this weekend more than many of my F4 weekends. But yeah, of course, Red Bull Ring isn't an easy track. Combination of low-speed corners and quite a bit of high speed. The high speed is tricky for me at the moment still, just trying to learn the downforce of the car. But yeah, getting there step by step, and for sure a very enjoyable track.
RPM also stepped into the weekend with a change in lineup, with Imola recipient of the Pirelli Rising Car Award Enzo Yeh out. Coming in would be highly rated Dutch talent Rino Francot, stepping up from F4 level. He gave us his thoughts on the weekend ahead.
Well, it's my first ever time in this Formula Regional car, so for me it's like a learning weekend, and I'm really enjoying to drive this car on this, mighty track, of course. Who doesn't like Red Bull Ring? It's one of my favorite circuits actually. I've been here 2 years ago with Formula 4, and for me this weekend is just to learn as much as possible for maybe my future, who knows.
And one change on the grid heading into round 7, former Axel GP driver Sakir Al-Maushari would switch to G4 Racing from the Austrian round. He gave us his thoughts on the weekend and an insight as to how he's settling into his new team.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to join this team. I joined it since Axel GP withdrawn from the championship, and it should be a better team step up. And yeah, hopefully we can achieve some great results with the team.
After heavy rainfall late into Friday evening, the mountains of Styria were graced with warm sunshine throughout Saturday in preparation for the first qualifying session to set the grid for race 1. The humidity rose as the drivers took to an ever-evolving track, and this put immense pressure on Group A's drivers, largely dominated by R-Race GP's Akshay Bora and Enzo Dellini. Akshay Bora would secure top spot in the group though, with a 1:25.981, 51 thousandths ahead of teammate Enzo Dellini. Hiyu Yamakoshi would also enter the top 3 in Group A, finishing 59 thousandths behind Akshay Bora for Van Amersfoort Racing. The contest in Group B was tight from the start, with Trident's Matteo De Paulo, Van Amersfoort Racing Pedro Clero and Santalot Racing's Nikita Bedrin trading fast laps. With just under 3 minutes left in the session, Matteo De Paulo would land the fastest time with a 1:25.709. Pedro Clero, in an effort to counteract the Italians' pole time, would go fastest in the first two sectors to near instantly respond. However, a late error in Sector 3 would leave him 18 thousandths behind, with a stunning performance from Nikita Bedrin placing the Santalot Racing driver 81 thousandths back in third place.
So yeah, after, let's say, not the best of the days yesterday of free practice, we managed to put all together today and take the pole position. Now we have to finish our job in the first race to try to close the gap with the leader of the championship and maybe also take the lead back.
I mean, I think you just need to drive on the limit, because if you go over the limit, then you'll do track limits, but if you don't, then you'll be fine. And then in terms of the racing, I mean, it's probably a lot of action with the long straights, so anything can happen.
And the marshal waves the green flag behind the scenes. Here at the Red Bull Ring, the lights now glowing red. As now all 5 lights are lit, and he put pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. Great start from Matteo De Palo. Akshay Bora not getting a great jump at all, now being challenged by Pedro Clero. Straight away as they come through towards turn 1, near enough side by side as they come through Niki Lauda curve, but a wide moment there for Clero, opening the door now for Nikita Bedrin to now leap up through the order, maybe even potentially stick himself inside the top 3. It is currently De Palo, further back Bora, side by side now between Clero and Bedrin as they now fly up through towards the apex of the corner at turn 3. Favourable inside line, tiger line here for Bedrin as he looks to try and slot himself into third. Oh my goodness, big crash further back, a multi-car collection. Further back, a few cars scuttling off wide as well. I can't quite see who that was part of. Definitely a Trident there somewhere as now they swarm down through towards Slosh Gold inside line as well. Clero losing yet another place as now Enzo Tellini looks to position himself into 4th now, but already on the opening lap we've had carnage and Giovanni Maschio sandwiched between 2 CL Motorsport cars and trying to also back into one of them as well. That's a really poor start for all 3 concerned. And we definitely did see a Trident further back as well. They got caught up in all the fray. Skipping into the gravel goes the 22 of Pedro Clero. It's been a really rough start here for the young Brazilian. And he's got his teammate Hiyu Yamakoshi all over his tail, also with Rashid El Dahiri for company. Still no words on a yellow flag or indeed a safety car just of yet. But as I say that, the safety car now gets brought out onto the circuit. Now, let's see what happened. Obviously, Nikita Bedrin, what a start first and foremost. The Santalot car now inside the top 3. This was where it all came together. There was a wide moment for a Trident there, indeed. There's the moment. There's the CL Motorsport car initially. We've got a G4 racing car as well further back. I can only imagine that's Edouard Borgner, or Sakura Al-Maushiri, actually, who's now a new G4 racing driver. There is Maschio. So he taps the back of the number 12 of Ania Frey, and then further back then we have Zenrui Chi, who was obviously at the tail end of that and just got caught in behind Maschio's car. So very much back underway now with green conditions. Matteo De Palo kicking us off as they rise through turn 1. Akshay Bora still hot on his heels as they fly through the Niki Lauda curve. So as the safety car now comes in, it now comes back to green. Nikita Bedrin on the heels now of Akshay Bora as they fly up through to the apex of the corner. Quite a bit of movement as well further back. Here comes Bedrin up the inside now. They're going to try and take second place away from Akshay Bora, and he might have done it, I think, as we now pan the cameras across as the cars now sweep through down towards Slosh Gold, and Bedrin has taken it. Here comes Tellini as well. The 2-hour race now looking to swap. Of course, Bora, who remember, started on the front row, now coming toe-to-toe with his very own teammates. And by and large, it looks like it might well be Enzo Tellini who has taken it this time around as they swoop through towards Roshenberg curve, and it is. And in fact, it looks like Bora could come under further peril because he's got now Pedro Clero swarming all over his tail. A really poor. So they now look to climb uphill once again. The battle for P1 still alive and well. Or it was anyway. Bedrin now since gapped to a whole second, but I think he's trying to bring that back in. It has come into 9 tenths as now up the inside. Pedro Clero moves ahead of Akshay Bora now for 4th, and a great move certainly by the young Brazilian. But now this will hand the slipstream to Akshay Bora. Does he have enough to lend a challenge coming down into Slosh Gold? He'll need a golden move here, that's for sure, as he looks around the outside here. A slight lock-up on the front right-hand side, and that opens the door for Clero to continue through and maintain his place in P4. Lovely move from the Brazilian, and managed to solidify the place. 10 seconds, they get 5 uses of it, as now at the inside comes Jin Nakamura, again looking to try and lift himself inside the top 10. This has been absolutely sensational from Jin Nakamura, starting from the very back of the grid after the issue in qualifying, and now up the inside now on Michael Belov, will move inside the top 10. Brilliant performance. Further back, you can see Rashid Al-Dahiri chasing after Hiyu Yamakoshi. Here comes Jin Nakamura as well, looking to try and gain another place. And surely he's going to try and flex his muscles on the run up towards Remus Bend. Nakamura after Ian Eichmann's looking to take down the RPM car. Is he going to prevail? Coming through turn 3, he certainly is. Jin Nakamura, we didn't see it live happen, but as they came over the crest, Nakamura in front of Ian Eichmann's and now sits in P9, chasing after Evan Giltaire. The P2 battle surely still alive and kicking as they now move uphill this time. And a few puffs coming off the back of that Santalot racing car as well, and you can just see there, defensive from Nikita Bedrin. He knows that Delaney's coming. He's hovering all over the Santalot rear wing right now, and he might even get to do it here at Slosh Gold. Delaney, very keen to make moves. He's done many already in his time this season. Of course, part of the Red Bull Junior team last campaign. Things didn't go so well back then, but now as an independent, working with RACE GP once again, having a look around the outside, but denied by Bedrin. He's going to look around the outside again this time before hurtling through towards Roshenwerth curve, try and carry the speed around the outside, but Bedrin always is going to be better with that inside tiger line to defend the place. Great effort from the Santalot driver, as now once again Delaney has another look. Flying all over his rear comes Enzo Delaney again. Will he go late on the brakes? He switches to the inside very late in the day, very nearly collects Bedrin, and they both go wide. That could have ended in tears as they rejoin the circuit. Bedrin still remains ahead of Delaney, but now the Frenchman is on a hard charge and trying to coast by the very experienced Nikita Bedrin. A little switcheroo as now Bedrin once again moves. Certainly no movement under braking. Bedrin very keen. And now look to come down the Styrian mountain this time. They're going to go side by side, and Delaney is going to try him around the outside through towards turn 4. Will it be a golden move at Slosh Gold this time for him? He tries the switchback, looking for the exit speed. Can he find it? Delaney can't. It's still Bedrin in control. He's going to try and take a wide line and carry the speed around the outside instead, coming through Roshenwerth curve. Delaney unable to do so. He has to hold station in third. Bedrin somehow managing to keep this relentless young Frenchman in behind, but has done it absolutely brilliantly as they fly through the final sector. Matteo De Paolo, though, for Trident, second in the championship. This will almost certainly put him to the top of the championship here at the close of race 1 here at Red Bull Ring. There's only one man who's going to lift the winning trophy aloft, and it's Matteo De Paolo for a third time this season, a victor in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Yet another one going to Luca Zabini's team here this time.
It was really good. We had a really good pace. Starting from the front row was all about to keep the position. The start was really good. Managed to get a good launch and without a lot of wheel spin. That here is, let's say, kind of easy because there is not a lot of rubber on track. But yeah, then at the end, first lap was already pretty clean because I got a lot of advantage at the start. And then it was all about, manage my pace. That was really good. And at the end we won with a really good gap.
Yeah, I've had a pretty good start and a really good first lap. I managed to gain 2 places. That was really good. Then the safety car restart. I saw an opportunity and I went for it. I think I've optimized everything we could. Qualifying and the race, I think we've got the best result possible. Really happy with that. Also, I defended pretty well at the end, kept my P2, so couldn't be more happy with the race.
Yeah, it was a good race. This track, it's quite good because you can overtake. It's more open than the other tracks. So my start was bad. I fell down to 5th, but then I had 2 good passes, went back to 3rd. And then the pace was good. I tried to pass Nikita, but he defended well. So in the end, 3rd, it's good result.
Yeah, it was a long race. For sure, because to pass here is very difficult because there's a lot of dirty air. But yeah, overall it's a good learning phase for me. So yeah, I'm trying to learn a lot for tomorrow for sure. So I hope tomorrow we can qualify better than today and then fight for the more points in the race.
Temperatures dropped slightly heading into Sunday morning as the second qualifying session of the weekend began. It was Group B's turn to head out first, and after narrowly missing out on pole on Saturday, Pedro Cleiro would respond in fantastic fashion for Van Amersfoort Racing, landing a spectacular 125.129 to go fastest by just under 2.5 tenths, but ahead of Prema and Mercedes junior driver Rashid Al-Dahiri. It was then down to Group A to respond, and despite showing promising pace, Enzo Dellini could only muster second overall, but fastest in the group with a 125.142 ahead of teammate Jin Nakamura by just over a tenth of a second.
Well, I'm very happy, very happy to finally put a good lap together this weekend. You know, since we've got here, I realized we had a lot of pace and the package was really strong. Yesterday in qualifying, I made a mistake which cost us that 100th that we needed to be on pole, and I made the mistake in the race. But yeah, today we bounced back with pole position, a very strong lap, even being on the slower group. But yeah, just very happy.
Yeah, it was a tricky session. The track was a lot faster than yesterday, so everyone went quicker. And then, yeah, on the last lap I did quite a good lap, but so pole in the group, but so close to pole overall. So it's a bit frustrating, but it's still a good result.
And the marshal, with the green flag in hand, will await for him to wave it as we now look ahead to the end of the Austrian weekend. The lights now glowing red, and all 5 lights are now lit. And it's pedal to the metal, and it's go. Great start from Pedro Cleiro, immediately jumps off the line. Enzo Dellini covered off in the process. Further back, Rashid Al-Dahiri going toe-to-toe now with Jin Nakamura. I said watch out for Jin, he could be quick, and indeed he is. A bit of a rub through over the curbs there for Rashid Al-Dahiri. Manages to move back onto the track though, but they're going to go toe-to-toe on the run-up now through towards turn 3. Freddie Slater also starting very strongly as well, joined by Evan Giltaire as they look to plumb for a move, heading up through towards Remus corner this time around. A lock-up further back as well as Pedro Cleiro still holds on to the lead advantage, being joined by Enzo Dellini, who has the lead actually coming into the second sector split, so he might yet be challenging Pedro Cleiro this time. No, Cleiro shutting the door straight away, trying to cover off to the inside. They're 3 wide further back as well. Jin Nakamura with a better line down the inside now, looking to take third and make it 2 RACE GPs inside the top 3, and he almost certainly has done it as well. He's leapt ahead of Rashid Al-Dahiri, who's now going toe-to-toe with Freddie Slater as they come through the double left-handers now. Slater now looking to take down his Prema teammate, skipping into the gravel as well as Enzo Dellini as they look to recover and head through out of Roche and Berthkerb this time around. A very busy getaway, a very busy start indeed. 28 minutes and 45 to take us into the end. There is of course Ian Eichmans looking to make a hard charge as well, chasing after the 31 up the road of Akshay Bora. And Dion Gowder, in fact, this time trying to challenge Akshay Bora here, coming through the final corner at Red Bull Mobile Curve as they now get set to take the next lap of action. Jack Beaton also having a great start as well, featuring behind his Prema teammate Freddie Slater. Here comes Nikita Bedrin, fresh off the back of yesterday's P2. He had to defend mightily like a lion, and now looking to try and take down the Trident car in front of him here as they now come through Niki Lauda curve. A little bit of a moment there for, I think, Kanato Lay just getting caught on the run out of turn 1. But Pedro Cleiro still in charge and 5 tenths up the road, ahead of Enzo Dellini. RACE GP settling down into a 2nd and 3rd place scenario with Evan Giltaire still there as well, side by sides between one of the ARTs as well. The 2 CL Motorsport cars once again coming together almost through Remus corner. As now we watch them, there's Hiyu Yamakoshi trying to feather his throttle all over the back of Rino Franco, who's now lost a few places. He's down in 10th place. A charge up the inside there from a ART. Now that looks like the 69 car, if I'm not mistaken, or an 89 car of Taito Kato that actually made his way through down the inside, and I think managed to plump for a move on Michael Belov. We will get confirmation of that shortly, folks, as they come through now out of the middle sector in towards sector 3 and skipping into the gravel. Freddie Slater, you don't want to get caught in there too often on those Pirelli tyres. It's all that separates them. They're getting down now in towards a steady pace, and look at that! Freddie Slater around the outside of Rashid Al-Dahiri, taking advantage after he skipped into the gravel trap on the second half of the Roche and Berthkerb section. And Slater now up into 5th spot, and now all 3 Prema cars Nikita Bedrin, who is a very hard racer indeed. Back comes Rashid Al-Dahiri trying to take his place back against Freddie Slater this time. A slight lock-up from Jack Beaton now comes under stress from Nikita Bedrin, who gets onto the curb and will rejoin the circuit. They're going to remain wheel-to-wheel, but it looks like Bedrin's got a slight nose in front. Whether he'll be asked to give that place back, I'm not quite sure, but either way you look at it, Jack Beaton will, of course, have the favourable line. Slater once again seeing Rashid Al-Dahiri behind him. Once again, it's toe-to-toe now between Bedrin. Bedrin running off wide, getting caught on the escape. And the number 7 of Nandavad Biram Bhakti able now to move alongside and through. And just look at this as well from Bedrin. Also looking to try and form up in behind also. And this is a reminder of the penalty for the false start. Let's have a look at that said start as well. Evan Gilter, unfortunately, breaching the starting procedure. There was a car that went off very wide to the inside as well. As we now take a look at the live pictures now out on the circuit coming through Slosh Gold. But it's time for Pedro Clero to obviously write his own name in the annals of history here at Red Bull Ring in this very championship, embracing the Dutch orange on this Van Amersfoort racing car. The man from Brazil who managed to usher this team to the top of their home race a few rounds ago in the third round of the championship. It was second and first back then. He had his struggles yesterday, nearly took pole. Well, he'll go from pole to victory here in race 2 at Syria. It will be Pedro Clero who wins here at Red Bull Ring. Enzo Dellini comes home in second, Nakamura in third, RSGP with 2 cars on the podium. Evan Gilter, of course, finishing in 4th place. We had a side-by-side, of course, between Freddie Slater and Rashid Al-Dahiri. We mentioned that Rashid Al-Dahiri was going quicker in certain sectors, but a tie-up between the two and just forced a little bit out wide. Slater managing to keep his teammate back and holding on to P5 at this stage.
I'm very happy, you know, we finally put a very good Sunday in, you know, reminds me a little bit of Zandvoort. We were unbelievably quick, you know, since the start. After I managed to get clear of Enzo, I knew I already made a gap. I'm like, okay, I have very good pace, and it was just, you know, a little bit of managing in the middle of the race and then the final push in the end. So I'm just very happy, you know, we were strong the whole weekend. It's very good points for the championship. So I'm very happy to bring a win to the team. I think the team deserves it after what we've been through today.
Yeah, the start was interesting. I felt like I had a good run on him at the exit of T3. I got the switch back on him. And yeah, unfortunately, I lost a bit of momentum as I was pushed onto the grass. So yeah, we'll see if anything comes to that. But otherwise, he did a good job. After he was just faster than us. So no, P2 is still a good result if nothing happens.
Yeah, so I'm happy for this result. This is my first podium in this season. So yesterday my result was, I was not happy for yesterday, but yeah, I'm so relieved for this result.
Yeah, on Thursday was my first ever time in the FRECA car, so of course it's a very good experience. This race was quite good. We already knew from the qualifying that the pace was good. Qualifying P4 in group. Then we just had some clutch issues at the start, so I couldn't put it into gear, which forced me to have a slow start, so I lost some positions. But then I just stayed behind and tried to make some moves, which unfortunately wasn't the case. But still, P10 and P1 rookie is something to be proud of.
As the checkered flag came down on the Austrian weekend, the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine finds itself with a compelling championship complexion, with Prama's Freddie Slater on 198 points, 3 points ahead of Trident's Matteo De Paolo. Another consistent weekend from RSGP's Enzo Dellini leaves him 25 points behind Slater on 173, and Pedro Clero, after securing his second win of the season, 33 points behind the leader on 165. The next step on the series calendar is the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, home of the Spanish Grand Prix. It promises to be a richly competitive stop in our final 3 rounds of the series. We will see you in Spain.